Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first Ginger Sports podcast. My name is Mark Melville and I am shitting my pants. For those of you that don't know, I've been wanting to release a podcast for a very long time, but in all honesty, I've never had the testicles to actually do it. Ever since starting the Ginger Sports blog, podcasting has always been the ultimate goal. I really enjoy writing pieces for the blog and I'll keep writing pieces for the blog, but I absolutely love sitting around a table with my friends, having a few beers and talking about sports. Disclaimer here, by the way, we're really amateur at this. In the background you can hear beers getting cracked, the microwave goes off, we get distracted by the rain outside, and above all, I really need to stop calling people cunts. I promise this will be a sharp learning curve, and throughout the coming weeks we'll try and record a bunch of these, especially with the World Cup coming up, US Open coming up, and hopefully we should get better every time we record. So please don't be too harsh in your criticism after episode 1. Do give us another chance. The very first topic I thought of was to discuss a specific team and whether you would keep or sell every individual in their current squad list. To keep it realistic, we made it that you couldn't just massacre 50% of the squad even if you wanted to. The first team we're trying to do this week is Manchester United. To be honest, I think that's a long enough intro. I'm sunburnt, hungover, I shot at 180 golf today and I just want to go to bed. Along with my Frankenstein monotonic drone is Mr. Martin Smith and Mr. Luke Stouffer. Right, let's start the podcast.
The thing for me, like looking straight away, it's interesting to see how long Mourinho is staying. Because there's about 4 or 5 players that he's alienated out of the squad, where a new manager could potentially make something out of them.
Oh, you know, as soon as someone like Luke Shaw goes to another team, he's going to be class.
But,
Yeah.
But is he though? Like really?
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen anything from him. It was the same, but I suppose it was the same when Chris Smalling was bought. I didn't see anything from him right off the bat that was like, this guy's going to be amazing. Like,
I remember seeing Luke Shaw at 17 for Southampton.
Exactly,
He
he's
was
22
phenomenal.
now. That's still really young, but he could have, if Mourinho hadn't alienated him, he could have 3 years of experience there.
Yeah, he's got to get out of there. He's got to get out of there. But we'll start.
But anyway,
we'll do it right.
Okay.
Goalkeepers. David De Gea, obviously, I'm not selling him.
but
Arguably the best goalkeeper
he's
in the
going to
world.
go though. Like, why would he stay there? What is his reason to stay there? They're not going to win anything.
They won't sell him though.
They won't,
surely.
yeah,
They'll
they're
just
just
play
not gonna
hard.
sell him.
He's the best keeper in the world.
But yeah, but I think he's earned enough. I mean, he's 27. You know, he's arguably him, Neuer, and
Ter Stegen.
probably Ter Stegen are the 3 best keepers in the world.
I can see why he would want to go.
Yeah.
100%.
It's whether, because the only team he could probably go to would be Real Madrid,
Yeah.
but it's whether Real Madrid want to,
But look at
when they have a perfectly good goalkeeper
Yeah.
in Navas.
yeah, he's always wanted to go to Real Madrid. But yeah, like if you watch Navas in the Champions League final, he was unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh
ridiculous.
yeah,
So-
it's not.
Yeah, so it's more, who would De Gea even go to?
I don't even know what the rate of goalkeepers would be now. There hasn't
it's-
been
I mean,
a
it's a
top class
fair-
goalkeeper on the market for a while.
For you,
Yeah, I
How
mean,
much
they're-
is a good like?
so they're quoting like 35 million for Jack Butland. I think Jordan Pickford went for 25-30. So you would need to think De Gea is going for maybe 45-50, something like that. If that's
But then if you look at it, then you just don't get rid of him. If you're paying 30 million for a defender,
But you know, I just feel like he's kind of done his time. It's kind of like he's done his
I know.
time, and
He's
he
done
really,
his-
he
Yeah,
really
yeah.
he deserves to go somewhere where he's not going to have to do.
well, he was seconds away from going. Was it 2 years ago?
yeah, and then
yeah.
the thing,
Yeah.
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 And actually reacted to that well because he could have kicked up a hell of a fuss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but for the interest of this game, he's staying.
He's
Okay.
the
Okay,
one
okay.
player on the list
Okay.
that's irreplaceable.
Okay.
So Sergio Romeo is their backup goalkeeper. Apparently he wants to leave because he's obviously not getting games, which you would think, for fuck's sake, mate, you knew that when you signed and David De Gea was still there. But I don't understand why you need a good backup goalkeeper.
No, I agree. From a selfish point of view, it's nice to have, But they're never going to be happy, are they?
Nah, like if they're a good goalkeeper, why would they go and become a number 2? I have no idea why you don't just have a kid and take the chance that your main goalkeeper's not going to get injured.
But then look at Bayern Munich. Don't have a good backup goalkeeper. Sven Ulreich is crap. Like, and then he goes and does that against Real Madrid. The absolute mess up. Like there's the problem. Like, how do you know? Well, Chelsea. I think Chelsea were the ones that did it the best, because who was the guy they had backup to Courtois?
They'd Begovic.
Begovic, what a backup!
Yeah.
But again, like,
but he was
from
happy
his
for
point of
his
view, that's bewildering.
He
Why
wasted
would
2 or 3 of the best years of his career.
Yeah, but then maybe they think there's nothing better out there for me right now.
It has to be a
or
money
they
thing.
genuinely believe they'll actually get a place.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be a money thing. They had to have offered him silly money, because he was Stokes number 1, top keeper, and then went to Chelsea as a backup. Like, career path just fucking dived, and then he's come back out and he's at Bournemouth?
Bournemouth now, yeah.
He's good. I mean, he's done really
keeper.
well at Bournemouth, like for a team.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Because the thing about goalkeepers is like they could be good as hell, like, but then if they're at a team that doesn't defend properly, like, you could say like any goalkeeper that plays for Barcelona is amazing, because they basically just every now and like every 10 opportunities will be one-on-ones. Yeah. Whereas for somebody like Bournemouth, you know, they defend better, I suppose, than somebody like that. Like, they're going to be testy, but they're going to have a good few defenders around them. So.
Yeah, you need to be a good shot stopper, but
that's why De Gea has been so important, isn't it? Because the defence for United isn't actually that strong.
Yeah, still is not great. So why say
it's embarrassing the fact I think he's been a Player of the Year last three maybe
for a
4.
team like Man United.
Yeah, for a team like Man United, it's embarrassing. But so I would sell Sergio Romeo and get, I don't know, maybe 10 million for him.
What's his injury? Because I know he's not going to the World Cup.
It's some sort of knee injury that he got. I think he got it in March in the Champions League, maybe. I may be talking shite, but he got it a while back and then came back too early and re-injured it, and now he's missing the World Cup.
Yeah.
So he's done. And you've got your boy Sam Johnson, who played a full season for Aston Villa, which I definitely had to Google. But I mean, if you want a number 2, have it, and he's happy to be number 2, which again I don't see why he would want to go out on loan. But have him as your number 2. Don't even bother replacing Romeo.
Surely that would be good for their homegrown thing as well.
I would think
obviously,
so.
Because I think that counts goalkeepers as well.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they're part of the squad, right?
Yeah. So you have him on the bench.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
You've checked off one of the 8 boxes or the 6 boxes, whatever you need.
Sorted, man. Get me in that director of football role.
Romero only 31 as well.
Cans.
So you actually could get money from him now. If you hold on for another 2-3 years,
how much would Romero be though?
I honestly don't even know. Depends.
10 million.
The thing is, you then look someone at Liverpool. Would they take a risk on him?
I doubt he'd
It's
be.
then a risk because he hasn't played properly for 2 years.
Yeah.
He was good at the World Cup he was good at the. No, it was the World Cup, wasn't it? 2014, so 4 years ago, where he was good.
You're going to say the Euros?
I was going to say the Euros, then quickly stopped it. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I would. I'm just assuming you would get something like 10 million for him. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract. 31, technically in his prime. Just offload him somewhere. And yeah, he was a good goalkeeper. When he came, he was a good goalkeeper. And again, it must have been a money thing where he's like, I'm prepared to give up first team football just to.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember, he came when it looked like De Gea was certainly going to go. Because he started the first 2 or 3 games of that season.
Then
when
you're
De Gea's
right.
move fell through. So he's probably like, I didn't actually do this to be a number 2.
And right,
so
in
he
that
probably
case,
really wants out.
I take it back, and he's been royally fucked over.
Who did he play for? I know we're getting deep into this, but like, who did he play for before? I can't remember.
Played for Monaco. I'm sure he played for Monaco.
Somebody like that, where he was he was always pretty good. Like, because he is technically the Argentina number 1.
I feel like it's Monaco and Porto. Consult Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's Monaco and Sampdoria.
Yeah. Because he was
close enough.
yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, he is technically Argentina's number one, because now if you look at their, because I was looking at their squad today,
It's brutal.
Willie Caballero is their number one now.
I know, yeah.
Defensively,
Lord,
it's
like-
brutal.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That you have, but then if you look like, I don't want to go into that, but like their defense is a lot better than people make it out to be. But you know, if you've got Willie Caballero, so a loss of him, but that shows you how useful he can be. Like, he could be a useful player.
Right. So to conclude on the goalkeepers, keep the hair.
Yeah.
I'm all for selling Romeo
Yeah.
for 10 million.
You might not even get that. You might only get like 6 or 7 for.
Right.
You know?
They must have several goalkeepers in their youth squad that have a future that could be a third goalkeeper.
Sell them for 7.
You get no doubt as well that they'll have some Ajax kid or somebody from Belgium or something like that will be coming through, and all of a sudden he'll rock into the first team.
So just before we move on, how much do we reckon Man United have to spend before they sell players?
We're the richest team,
Like,
commercially richest team in the world. So
What do you think? 100 million? 150?
I do 150 easily. Like
150 before
they sell it.
player sales.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
it's
just
probably
keep
about right.
put-
The only thing is the amount of money they spent. Well, I know there wasn't that much for fee, but Sanchez's wages
Oh yeah.
was a
Wait
huge outlay.
until we should probably move on until we get to him.
Right, we'll compromise. We'll go 130 million before we start. Right, so we're up to 137 million having sold Romeo.
Yeah.
Right, defenders. We'll start with the one that probably splits opinion the most. Victor Lindelof. He cost 30 million and he just doesn't look very good. But at the same time, he's only 23.
Yeah.
So do you stick with him for? I think you have to stick with him for another season.
I have a theory. Bear with me. So they sign all these
we
guys.
go down a rabbit hole?
No. They sign all these guys from the Spanish team, from the Spanish league. Sorry.
He was for Benfica, was he not?
Was he? Oh shit. Sorry. Okay. Right. So, to be fair, the Portuguese league is very similar to the
In the
Spanish
fucking
league, where
Mediterranean.
two teams dominate, right?
Right.
And if you watch it, like I've watched a few Portuguese games, you watch Benfica and all that, great attacking, shit defending. So anyone who is mediocre generally stands out a bit more because they can defend a bit better than the rest of them. So, like, I'm talking about Victor Lindelof, and then if you look at, like, say Mustafi as well, like, that's where I was going. These guys, like, they looked good, but now they cost 30 million, and now they don't look so good. So, because that's a lot tougher of a league for a defender. Like,
you can't even compare the Portuguese and the Premier League.
I mean, the pace,
week out.
just the pace of the league's just totally different.
Yeah. So I think I would give him another season, but I'd play him, like, because he's better than the people that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you sell him,
buy.
you take a hit, and I don't know who. You take a hit and sell him for 20. I don't think you get anyone better for 20.
Nah, I don't think
I would
so.
give him another chance.
Yeah.
The thing I noticed when I was writing down who was actually in the Man United squad, they are stacked with defenders. Like, it's so defensively heavy. Like, so I think we're all in agreement with Eric Bailly. He's their best defender by a mile.
I think he
By a
could be
mile.
world class. Really is.
He's up there, like.
He's
brilliant.
He's very, very good.
And like whenever he plays, and whoever's partnering him, whether it's Smalling or Jones or Lindelof, like if they're having a bad day, he is all over the place.
Where did he come from? Where did they? Because I remember
Villarreal.
The first few games he slotted in straight away. There was no adjustment.
We
period.
Villarreal.
So he's the anomaly to your theory.
Yeah, but Villarreal were a good defensive team. Like they basically made the season that they bought him off was the season where they conceded something. Like I think only Atletico Madrid conceded less than them, and that's including like Barca and all that.
Right.
Like it was ridiculous.
Aye. No, he's class,
He's
but
just a beast.
So
He's future captain material.
I'd keep
do that right.
I'd keep Lindelof and Bailly for sure.
yeah. Phil Jones.
Get rid of him.
Aye.
Yeah, get rid of him.
What
use is he?
I am torn so much on this one.
All I've got in my head is Eden Hazard ripping him for the FA Cup final and then him bringing him down and giving away a penalty. But I think he's better than Smalling. I certainly think he's better than Smalling. I think he's better than Rojo. I would keep him. I know his problem is he can't stay fit. I actually think he's okay.
He's a Twitter defender. It's like he's like a guy that creates GIFs. Like people like him more because I get the whole point where he like throws his body in the way and everyone's like, yeah, this guy's committed, but like he makes silly mistakes.
Generally, I'm not a fan of that kind of defending because generally it means that you've made a mistake and you're now having to recover from it.
Yeah.
If you are doing that, if you look at like the great defenders of all time, like a Maldini.
Yeah, he was never in that position.
Yeah, never even.
Never had to be in that position because he could read the game so well. So, but at the same time, Phil Jones is not Paolo Maldini.
Yeah, as an Englishman, what do you think about him going to the World Cup?
See, I was going to bring that up. Over a 38-game season, I like Phil Jones because although he does the stupid stuff and he's known for the occasional silly mistake, on the whole, he's solid. In a 5-game, 6-game tournament, I don't like him being there because one of those mistakes could
He's
come
going to be
out.
in one of those games. Yeah.
Over a season, I still think he's good enough to be in that defence. I think he's better than Smalling, for sure.
The mistake he made against Hazard, or was it Hazard in the FA Cup final? Like,
Hazard
even
like square.
Anyone who gets paid that amount of money knows that if there's a fast guy. I don't know what he did. He just walked away to the side.
His positioning was totally wrong.
Terrible.
It was very amateur. And then he actually got back, closed the angle, and we just said De Gea is arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. You let Hazard have the shot at that narrow an angle and hope your goalkeeper's going to save it, rather than fly it, rather than just like flinging yourself in from 7 miles away, like Sol Campbell slide tackle.
I think it's just frustrating. He should be better than he is. Because when he left Blackburn, 4 or 5 years ago as a 21-year-old,
get touted as a future captain.
I thought he's the future captain of England, but he hasn't.
Yeah,
he's good, but he's not great. Which kind of summarises this United squad. But
yeah, he's struggled to stay fit, but I'd definitely keep him.
I'd keep him.
Martin, 2-1.
I'd 2-1. That's it, but I'd get
2-1.
rid of him, man. I just think he's far too full of errors.
Marcus Rojo is a weird one because I don't think he's a left back, and I don't think he's a centre half either. I don't think he's good enough to play either position. I just don't think he's a very good footballer, full stop. to be honest, and I'd sell him for whatever I can get.
And he's another one that Mourinho just doesn't like anyway, so there's no point in being there.
But as a backup, though, do you not think like if literally you're down to the bare bones of a squad and you've got Marcus Rojo, you're like, well, that's better than
take a youth team player.
Jimmy White, who's 18. Like
nah, I'd take someone off the street. Nah.
I'd get rid of him as well.
Honestly, I just think he's a liability. He's a walking red card. He's a defender that's terrible at tackling. I don't know how that has gotten him to Manchester United in his career, but he's a defender that's terrible at tackling. I just don't see the point in him.
I would set him straight out. I don't think you get much for him.
You've convinced me. I came in like, good backup, but now you've made very good points.
If you're Mourinho, you're praying he's a half decent World Cup and you actually get a bit more money for him.
Yeah, 100%. You hope plays really good for Argentina,
but he's not going to do it this year.
You see him day in, day out. You're like, oh, right. So
another one that came from the Spanish league.
I think he was Portuguese. I think he was Sporting Lisbon.
Was he Portuguese as well?
Yeah, hold on.
I'm trying to get this theory going.
Marcus, bear with me. Marcus Rojo. Wikipedia.
This is where we ad lib.
Yep. No.
This is where we put the little jingle in.
I'll tell you what I did not know. I did not know that he played for Spartak Moscow. In 2011, 2012.
I would never have guessed that.
No.
But yeah, then went to Sporting.
So when did he sign? Was it 2014?
Yep, 2014.
So was he another classic case of had a half decent World Cup, got signed over the club, turned out to not be that good?
Yep. One of many.
Yeah.
El Hadj Diouf, the most famous case that springs to mind.
Who was the other guy that played for them as well? I know it's Italian.
There was the Salif
Diao. Yeah, it was horrendous as well.
Just because Senegal beat a terrible France 1-0.
Oh, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Right, so what are we selling Rojo for though? Like, I think he'd still go for 20 million easy.
Yeah, you still get 15, 20.
People will spend that.
I think
Everton would spend that on him. Like,
So yeah, that's a good point. If you touted him to a Premier League team
right
that's
people,
desperate, you probably would get some money.
Right, so we're going 20 million specifically to Everton.
A mid-table team.
West
would take
Ham
him.
or something. West
Gay
Ham.
Joy would
West,
use.
yeah, West Ham,
Yeah.
Everton, somebody like that would take him.
West Ham are linked with everyone just now.
Oh yeah.
Because they need everyone.
That's because they're going to get 50 million for Arnautovic as well from Man U. So
Surely that's not actually going to...
Right, Chris Smalling.
Out.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got to go. I think generally is having 4 centre halves that want to be first choice in your squad, is that too many? Or is it normally you have 3 centre halves that want to be first choice and then maybe a youth player to cover injuries?
I'd keep him just for the sheer fact that he's an English player as well.
You're thinking
back up.
But
think the homegrown football
Back
manager round.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but the point I'd make on that is England's football squad, everyone in the world is saying their centre-backs are terrible. And Smalling didn't even make that squad.
I know, and that was the big shot for me, because I thought Jones wouldn't go. I thought Smalling would go.
I think the idea that Gareth Southgate says is that he's not that good on the ball. He's not good enough on the ball.
Yeah, he's horrendous on the ball. But then so was Phil Jagielka, was never good on the ball either. He was a no-nonsense, boot it out.
But then you think Phil Jones is almost a straight swap for Jagielka in
much.
terms of that bulk.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, he's stronger. I think he's a strong, big guy. He's pretty quick, like, and that's what you're in a World Cup. That's what you're going to need. Think about it. If you're up against, people like Leroy Sané, something like that, they are rapid.
Hold your brakes here. Need
God forbid we're 2-1 up
Yeah.
and get in a knockout match. You want to throw someone on.
If it's England, Germany, and he's if he's bolting towards or Aguero is bolting towards him, like I'd take. He doesn't do his high profile mistakes, but he does more small mistakes.
Yeah,
I
think Phil Jones is better than Chris Smalling. I don't think Chris Smalling's particularly great. And again, when I was looking up the squad today, I didn't realise he's 28. He's not exactly young.
Yeah.
I think he's already gotten as good as he's going to get.
The thing with Chris Smalling is, Rojo, I'm not sure what money you get, but Chris Smalling, I think you would get decent money. That's where I think someone like Everton or West Ham actually would go in big for him, because they would maybe see him as a captain or a centre-back for the next 5 or 6 years. You might actually get decent money for him.
I think so. I think you'd get...
Okay. The money point, yet again.
That's the only
thing.
That's
the only. You've convinced me. Yeah, because you would. You'd get like if what Johnny Evans is worth 30 million.
Exactly right.
On 1 year contract.
Johnny Evans is getting
rejected 18 million, didn't they, for Johnny Evans?
Yeah, like if he's worth a lot, like you could get a lot for Chris Smalling.
To be fair, without going back into Arsenal, Johnny Evans only got rejected an £18 million bid is because Arsenal put it in the last day, which Alan Pardew told them like 3 or 4 days before, if they come in the last day, I'm going to reject it. And of course, Arsenal just went in and put a bid in the last day. Fucking...
Because they just don't understand the transfer market.
No, apparently not. No. Apparently you'd a Fabinho bid the other day as well. They came in the last minute. You're like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that I'm happy to chuck him for like I'd say he's 20 mil then.
Yeah.
Let's go easy.
20 mil. He's playing centre half with Marcus Rojo at West Ham.
Yeah. Crystal Palace.
West Ham are in trouble.
Yeah, him and Sacco at Palace, something like that. Like.
Right, Daley Blind.
Get him gone. Just chuck him. What is his use? What is that man's use apart from his dad was amazing?
I'm going to throw. I think he's a half decent squad player. I don't think he should be anywhere near the 11, but he can fill in at probably 3 different places.
Oh mate!
But he's out of contract in 2019, which means you either have to sell him just now, or you're going to lose him. Because they're not giving.
How much are you going to make for him now, though, if he's out of contract next year for a man that's
10, something
28?
Like that.
I would have said he's way older than that.
Twix and a bottle of ginger.
But he's, let's not lie. I mean, what age is he?
28.
28. He's going to go back to Ajax and play the rest of his time at Ajax.
Yeah,
that is what his future holds. He is not he is not the kind of player that anyone's going to look at and go, oh my god, he could do a job for me. Like, nobody knows really where he should play. Nobody knows what his skill is.
Yeah,
True.
He's just kind of okay at everything. Like, can hit a shot, can pass, can run about.
True. I guess, I've been looking at it. He's been handy the last few years.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he should stay for that reason. Yeah.
If Marcus Rowe's going, Daley Blind is the first man out.
Give you that.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so Daley Blind is gone. How much you get for him?
I think I should pay 8 million for him. 6 million, something like that.
Yeah, you don't
I think
get
that's
that.
I think we'll need to go 6. I don't think the Dutch league's blessed with money, so I think we'll go 6. Right, Ashley Young has had a good season. He's 33 in July, and he's another one. He's out of contract next year, so I can't see them giving him a new deal. Give him a new deal until he's 36 or something. Like he'll be out of contract when he's 34. What do you do to him?
I think his future hinges on Jose Mourinho and what he does at left back.
I mean, surely
Yeah,
he's got to buy a left back.
He's done a very good job this year, but he isn't a left back. So when one comes in,
he's gone.
He's
He's been back up, and I don't think that's the kind of guy he is.
But if you at the same time, he's not going to play as a winger at all in the squad. He's nowhere near the calibre of wingers that they have.
No.
So, is he happy to be a backup left back, or does he move on?
I think you'll find that he'll stay another year, play a bit part, and then go at the end of his contract. I can't see him. I can't see them giving him a new deal. Like, he's probably on ridiculous money. He's been there for 10 years. Or something.
That's the thing. I think he's probably more than happy to stay there, even if he's not playing that much.
Yeah. He'll at least have a 7 at the front of his wage.
Yeah, you'd
per
have thought
week,
so, right?
Easily.
I think so.
Unbelievable season though. If you'd have told me at the start of the season he's going to be in the World Cup squad.
Yeah, and he deserves to be. I mean,
he actually does.
I hate Ashley Young.
Yeah.
He deserves to be there.
Yeah, he does. I don't think he'll play, because if we go down that route, I think Delph gets in ahead of him. But
Delph at left back.
I don't want that, but I think might be where he goes to. Danny Rose has played 9 games all year or whatever it is.
I think he'll go with Danny Rose. I do think he'll go with Danny Rose.
That concerns me a bit. I think he will. Danny Rose hasn't played all year.
No, I mean, Ben Davis has been better than him.
Yeah.
This is a shame he's Welsh.
I know. Should have snapped him up earlier.
Right, so Ashley Young.
I think he'll stay.
I think he'll stay.
Keep Ashley Young. Another English, another one for the homegrown category. Luke Shaw, it looks certain that he's gone. He's a very talented footballer.
He has to go for his own
I want to know what Luke thinks about Luke.
I don't even know what to think about him anymore. When he first moved, you thought, oh, great, that's England's left back for the next 5-10 years, guaranteed. And actually, before the leg break, he started to look like that player as well. But then he hasn't been given a run of games since. I think it's been brutal from Mourinho, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't help himself. He doesn't strike me as the person that puts in the extra 10% of training. But it's been brutal. He's got to get out, because he's not going to play next year.
It seems like Mourinho has one way to manage psychologically, and that is be hard on them and embarrass them, call them out in public, in theory that you go, all right, I'm going to show you, you prick, kind of thing.
But when's that ever worked? This is my problem with him. He does this to so many players, and very few of them end up being superstars. Like he's an established player guy. Like, think about the Inter Milan team. When he didn't really do much to that team, and he got them to the Champions League. To win the Champions League, which is unbelievable. It's like Samuel Eto'o is like a defender practically.
Diego Milito.
You get a lot of Italians and Argentinians who are hard bastards and would respond to that kind of management. When you've got a little bit softer guys, when you're like maybe guys that have come up through the English academy system, like a Luke Shaw, and who need an arm round the shoulder, rather than a boot up the arse. That's where it tends to hurt him.
He must be at home right now, Luke Shaw, thinking, what am I doing? Because, like we're saying, that left back place for England is up for grabs. It's between Delph, Rose, who hasn't played all year, or Ashley Young.
Ashley Young,
So
yeah.
how is Luke Shaw not completely and utterly cemented that? He's got to get out.
He'll be fuming. Either way, he'll look back at his career and think,
He played in the World Cup 4 years ago as an 18-year-old.
did he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played because we were already out after 2 games. Classic. He played the last game as an 18-year-old, our youngest ever player at a World Cup, apart from Michael Owen potentially. And then 4 years later at 22, he's not even in the squad.
Yeah, it's
Like that.
it's
But
awful.
do you not think he came back? See, when he came back, he looked slightly overweight.
That's my thing about the 10%. I don't think he's the hardest trainer.
Yeah.
He did look fat. Let's be honest. Let's not
Yeah,
say
he
overweight.
looked
fat.
but he looked
did.
like he'd hit the gym too much. Like he looked, he wasn't as rapid when he first came in, and he was like 18,
that was
19.
his-
He looked
yeah.
rapid.
You need-
Like,
yeah.
that was his
Yeah.
thing.
You need to go to that like Valencia, Antonio Valencia style. When Kirk Broadfoot done Antonio Valencia's knee, he was out for like a year. He'd done his cruciate ligament, and then he came back and he was absolutely massive, but he was still rapid.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw did look like he'd lost a yard of pace. He just looked like he had a belly.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And then you went back, and again, I'm taking everything Sky Sports says with a pinch of salt, but they would interview like his Southampton youth coach, and he said, yeah, he had a little bit of a work ethic problem, so there's a chance that he's taking that in.
He had a work ethic problem at the age of 18. He was given $100,000 a week contract.
Yeah,
That doesn't really go hand in hand.
Yeah. But that's. I mean, let's not lie. That's a lot of English players.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate Dele
That's all
Alli.
time.
I get it. He's a bit of a mercurial talent, but like, is that man really the saviour of English football?
He's been very lucky that Pochettino's kept the faith with him, because he's a really bad season and Pochettino's played him every single game.
Yeah.
Pochettino's
Yeah.
just kept him in,
Yeah,
kept
like,
him going.
He
kept
could
him
have
going.
given him a similar
Yeah.
treatment.
Easy.
Sorry, back to Luke Shaw. But
Back to Luke Shaw.
I'd say just cut your losses and get rid
He
of
has
him.
to go.
Yeah.
Sell him.
Uh,
You get a decent amount for him, and
Yeah,
he could well resurrect his career somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, 25, 30 mil?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's only got
Sure,
one.
he's
The problem is he's only got
22
1
already.
year left in his contract. If
He's
it
got
was
1 year left.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe 20 then.
20, I'd say
25.
20. Yeah.
20?
We're
Okay.
going, we're going with the safe 20.
Yeah, safe 20. Sees what? West Ham next to Rojo and
What a back line.
I put Timothy Fosu-Mensah in just because he played 20 odd games for Crystal Palace, and I think he's a decent player. I think he's one of those that if you are getting rid of like a Daily Blind or something, or even a man who we're going to talk about in 2 minutes, Darmian, you could keep
Forgot
Fosu-Mensah. Yeah, I know. Everyone forgot about him. I think Jose Mourinho forgot about him.
Can we just go straight to Darmian and say, let's just get rid of him?
Right, okay,
Like,
okay.
Yeah, I'd say, let's not even spend time on him. Like,
He's gone.
He's mince.
Right, Darmian,
He goes
Darmian's
back to the
gone.
Italian
Yeah,
league.
he goes
does
like
fine.
someone else, Fiorentina will buy
Yeah,
him for
yeah,
10.
Sampdoria, 8
like
million,
someone
they're
will-
happy.
yeah, someone
United are
will-
happy.
Right.
That's not even worthwhile. 10 million.
Right, he's at the fucking airport. 10 million.
Yeah.
10 million. He's
Sorry,
out.
but
He's
back
out.
to Fosu-Mensah.
So Darmian's replacement.
Yeah.
Fosu-Mensah. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's 20. I think you keep him. I don't
Yeah.
think you loan him out this year. I think you keep him and you use him in Europe. You use him in the Carabao Cup. You use him if Valencia's injured. And I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
2 years younger than Shaw as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dutch into he plays for Holland now.
Yeah, he does,
Started
yeah.
for Holland. And why not keep him?
Yeah, I think
Nah,
they
I'd go
will
with
keep him because he's a good backup.
Yeah.
He's a good. If something goes wrong.
Keep him.
You can't be selling 20-year-olds.
Nah. Right, Antonio Valencia. You've got to keep him again. I think he's captain now.
Yeah, I think he is. Isn't he?
He's
Club
pretty much captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll keep going. He's
Yeah.
he's a bit like one of the Neville brothers. He's just going to
Yeah.
be there forevermore.
You
Yeah,
gotta keep
he
him.
doesn't look like he's. I mean, he's 33. By the time the next season kicks off, he'll be 33. But he still looks as physically fit.
It's amazing to see how he's changed though from when he was at Wigan.
Yeah.
he was like super like everything went through him, and now it's like, oh, we've just got this rapid. He's
very good.
Him and Victor Moses are the two people that have surprised me. I suppose Ashley Young as well have surprised me a lot because I thought they were all three of them. I thought they were all on the way out. But they've kind of, Victor Moses has changed to
Yeah, just
being this
reinvented
ridiculously
themselves.
good wing back. Same with Ashley Young, and even Valencia. He was the first person to kind of really do that and come back and start playing in that role. Like, I've been amazed by what they've done.
Yeah, he's got so much better at it as well. I remember at the start, and he looked like a liability. He did look like a winger playing fullback, but now he actually looks like a solid right back.
He's a top pro as well, isn't he? You can tell he
looks after himself. Right.
You keep him.
Keep him. Right. Midfielders. Start with the best. Mr. Paul Pogba. What do you do?
You think he's the best?
He out of Man United's midfielders? Nah,
That is a scary list.
Behind Matic.
I could do an entire hour podcast on how much I think Paul Pogba is overrated.
I could be swayed both ways on Pogba 100%.
He is the epitome of just swagger and over. I just no, it's nothing to do with that. It's just the way he carries himself on a pitch. Like, he is all flash and very little else.
Oh, he's so frustrating.
Like, if you watch, I remember I used to watch Serie A quite a lot, and you watch him with Juventus. He had look at the back four that was protecting him. He had so much time and space to do all the stuff he did, the big, massive shots. Like, if you watch, I can't remember who it was against, but you see that
hit,
the
one from behind.
Yeah, the hit which swerves around.
Yeah.
He probably did nothing. He did nothing the entire game, and then did that
he's a
one thing.
YouTube
That's all
player,
anyone
isn't he?
remembers. He's a flash guy. Like,
no, I genuinely agree. I think I've watched every big game of Paul Pogba's career. Like Champions League finals, European
France
Euro
was horrendous.
Euro 2016.
And he'll do the same at the World Cup. He'll be playing that stupid role, like in the middle of if he's playing anywhere, stick him behind. Play him as like a Dimitri Payet or something like that, like slightly on the wing or behind the front guy, and just let him do his tricks. That's what you need to do.
It's a shame because he is probably going to be another one that's never going to realise his full potential. Because if you look at him, he's 6'2", 6'3". He's strong, man.
Yeah. He shows glimpses when he shrugs people off and beats through. He should.
He should be
world class.
He should be. He can bully people. He can take control of games and just dominate teams, like he did second half against Manchester City earlier in the season, where they were 2-1 down.
That's why it's frustrating. That's why I could be swayed either way. Because if you think you can get that out of him every season, you've got Player of the Year, potentially one of the best players in the world. But you don't.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he tries half the time.
I mean that's like your Mesut Ozil argument. That should be the minimum.
Yeah.
The minimum you get should be effort, and you just don't get it.
And the big thing, if you sold him because of his nonsense and because he's 25, you would still get so much money.
Yeah, you would.
Nobody. I don't think the only person who would buy him would be PSG. PSG would buy him in a heartbeat.
But then that's a perfect buyer, right?
But they can't. I mean, they're done for the next 2 years. That's the problem.
They are humped.
Yeah, unless Neymar goes to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid, what I heard, are now 600 million euros in debt. It's not going to happen.
With the Real news today, something's happening there, isn't it? Let's face it. With Zidane going.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he'll go.
That was all very bizarre.
Yeah. Tangent, but
sorry.
Marketing's tangents.
This is how you end up 3 hours deep. Fellaini. No, so Pogba, I don't know.
They'll keep him. He'll
you give him another year.
Yeah, you give him another. I reckon he'll be there until he's 28.
Because even if he is frustrating, he's probably still the best player in the squad.
No one's going to pay 140 million outside of PSG.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
I said, they've not got the money. So.
Yeah. Right. Juan Mata, he's 30 and he's out of contract next year.
I can see him going back to Valencia. Valencia have just got a bit of a boost in terms of cash. I can honestly see him going this summer back to Valencia.
Fair few of them do it and then go back to Spain.
And that's his team. That was where he made his name, and
I think he deserves it. I think he deserves to go back for Man United to let him go back to Valencia because he's a first team player. He's a tremendous footballer, and he just doesn't fit into Mourinho's system.
From a really selfish point of view, though, you keep him as an amazing sub.
Oh yeah,
because he comes on and changes games in frustrating games against West Brom. He comes on and does something.
Well, if you're looking at that team, he's probably the only one who can actually unlock defences, unlock a defence that's sitting really, really deep. He's their only real playmaker.
Imagine him. So remember when David Silva and him were playing at Valencia? Imagine him in the Man City team. Juan Mata. That's the team he should have signed for.
Yeah, he didn't sign for Man United when Mourinho was manager.
No, Moyes signed him.
No, it was
Moyes signed him.
And it was a panic buy.
signs.
Total panic buy.
He's just been.
But then he was forced out of Chelsea by Mourinho.
By Mourinho, yeah. I never thought
It was class.
He's
before,
been really unlucky that he's got Jose Mourinho as a manager twice.
Yeah.
Because if you're an offensive player, you don't want Jose Mourinho as your manager.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get any better.
Yeah, and that's why, the defenders list here on this piece of paper is, 2/5 of the rest of it.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, more than half the squad is defenders and goalkeepers.
Yeah. I think he'll go. I think he deserves to be able to go back to Valencia or Villarreal, somebody like that.
I think he'd fight to keep him, but I think he probably goes.
Yeah, much you get for him.
That is
1 year left.
really tough question.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just let him go.
They get.
What is Juan Mata's value though?
I think your best hope there is they've got some sort of target in Spain or a Valencia player, and they
use
look
him as
to
midweight.
incorporate. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I don't know what cash you get.
There's
for
no.
him
I
now.
mean, I couldn't tell. In my head, I can't come up with a value for him at all.
I'm saying 20 million. I think you still get 20 million. I think Juan Mata is still one of the best actual footballers in the Premier League.
I mean, Robert Snodgrass was sold for 15 million.
Right, there we go.
Okay, there you go. 20 then.
I feel like we're going to need you in the future, just like when we're saying something, then it'll be like, perspective.
Perspective, bro.
Jordan Rhodes.
Ross McCormack, 18 million.
James Tompkins went to Real Madrid for 50 million.
Aye. Right, so if Robert Snodgrass went for 15,
Then you can't accept less.
he's got to be going
Only
for
a year
20.
left though. I'd say 2025.
It's just that 1 year left.
20.
Because he came for 25 to Chelsea, so 25.
Neymar
back.
broke the transfer market. Everyone's went mental.
What is the game? Like, how do you benchmark now?
He's not. But he's not broken. So he's not broken. I know it's another tangent, but he's not broken the transfer market. The transfer market was always going to do that because of the Premier League. So now what happens is the money that Juventus and all that get is through the Premier League. So it might not be directly from them buying, Man United buying a Juventus player. It would be, maybe Man United buy a player from Real Madrid and Real Madrid buy a player from Juventus.
There's just more money in the system.
There's more money.
The money works
now.
around.
Yeah, but it's only in the top teams, so you only see it from. You're like I'll tell you night and day why I think Griezmann is not worth 100 million, but he's worth 100 million because that's his buyout clause.
Yeah.
Because that's what people can pay now because it's Premier League money that's now filtering down. Like that's.
Right.
It wasn't Neymar's fault, but I hate him so.
Jesse Lingard, obviously keep. And he's one of the few good things about Man United's season.
Yeah, he shocked me this year.
He's in the England team, right?
Yeah, he's there, and I think he may even. I don't think he'll start, but I think he'll be a big player. He's certainly the first sub.
If you're going on form, he has been better than Dele Alli.
Yeah, he has been. I don't think he will get a start because I think Southgate likes Ali Kane.
Yeah.
But
he's not as creative as Dele Alli on his day can be more creative than Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard's more of an impact. He's like Pedro.
Yeah.
He's more of an impact guy.
Yeah, he shocked me this year. Before the start of this season, I didn't really rate him. I thought he was just another United. All right, he'll end up at a West Ham.
They
are doing well out of this. But this year he's been.
Can we do West Ham the next one? Who they've bought and where we're going to play them?
Second part of the season, he's been phenomenal.
Right, we're keeping Jesse Lingard. Ander Herrera, another one out of contract next year.
Keep him, give him a new deal. Keep him all day. Like that man is.
He keeps him ticking over.
He is. What is it? Next to Kante, he's got the highest. Was it tackles in the Premier League or something like that? Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
But Mourinho doesn't play him. If everyone's fit, he doesn't play.
But he doesn't play. But he plays them against when people. So if there's teams that he needs to man mark a certain person. So if they played Barcelona, he'd play. If they played Juventus, he'd play. Bayern Munich, he'd play. Any big team, he generally plays them and shoves them on someone.
So you're telling me he's the new Park Ji-sung?
Kind of, yeah. Because think about it. I remember watching him at Atletico Bilbao, and it was him, and I can't remember the name of the other guy who was a young guy, maybe 2 years younger than him. and he was another.
It's
For the life of me.
Javi Martinez.
No,
Bayern Munich,
there was another young guy that was like a kind of. He played in a more creative role, and there was a guy that was he was like a left wide winger. Anyway,
Iker Muniain.
Yeah, Muniain, like those two together, like that was just ridiculous. He's more creative, way more creative than he gets to be at Man United, and it just shows you how good he is. That he's changed his game to be able to become that hard tackling Kante style, kick the crap out of people, Neil Lennon style player, like where you're just he's not big.
I bet he has never been compared to Neil Lennon.
He's not big, but like he's just people fear him like when they see him running around at their ankles type thing,
Okay, so Ander Herrera gets a new 4-year deal. Fellaini is out of contract in a month. Keep him. Nah.
Just let him go.
Just let him go. Just everyone sit down and admit that it was a mistake to even sign him.
Been at the club. It's unbelievable that he's been there for 5 years.
Another David Moyes.
Just let it go.
Legacy panicked by.
That was transfer deadline as well, I believe.
It was, yeah.
Right, okay, he's gone. We get nothing out of that. We get wages out of that.
Yeah.
Right. Nemanja Matic.
He'll stay.
He's the best player.
Yeah. He's awesome. I will never understand why Chelsea let him walk into Man United team.
It's insane.
It
was a Robin van Persie.
You want to get rid of him, get rid of him. But what are you doing?
But it was because of Bakayoko though, because they had so big hopes. So there was no way they were ever going to play Bakayoko. Bakayoko, Kante, and him. There's not that midfield three would be ridiculously bad.
How much did they pay for Matic in the end?
I think it's like 25.
See,
25
they took 25. You take 10 to send him to a different league.
Yeah,
because you know he's that good. You don't let him walk into your rivals. You just like
it's that position is so hard to fill with someone. You see, like Arsenal are really, really struggling just now because they've got Granit Xhaka playing there, who cannot do the job. But Matic, Kante, like these guys can actually do the job.
Yeah.
The exception is, I mean, even like Man City have got Fernandinho. Like, you need someone to be able to do that job, and there's not that many people that can do it. So Matic he's worth so much, and they got a bargain for him, and he was really good.
Yeah, he'll be there another 3 or 4 years.
It's Claude Makelele or Michael Essien. Every amazing team.
He knows what his job is, and he just goes out and does it. It's as simple as that.
Yep, and his teammates know that, the opposition know that.
Yeah,
he's standard. You very rarely see him play bad. He's always at least a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, no, agreed. I can't actually think of any off the top of my head.
He makes mistakes, but then he makes mistakes because he gets the ball so often. Like he must touch the ball more than any other player in Man United. Like he's just constantly having to play. And a few wayward passes. And all that, but.
Right. So we keep Matic, Scott McTominay. He's he's obviously going to get kept, but my fear for him, being a Scotsman, is that he's just going to get benched now. That Mourinho's going to bring in a couple of central midfielders and he's going to get shifted down the pecking order and he's not going to get loaned out.
Yeah. I heard someone talking about this on the radio earlier and they were saying Mourinho does this with young players. He gets them in, gives them a run of games, and irrespective of whether they've played well or not,
they just
takes them out as like a learning curve kind of thing. Like he has with Rashford in some senses. But then it's a case of, well, does he get back in? Because he didn't do anything wrong in the games.
Done nothing wrong. Played well against Sevilla when the whole team were terrible.
Yeah,
he played really well. And to be honest, if they're being fair to the boy, they probably loan him out to a Premier League team. But
I was about to say, like, I think in his future there's going to be a loan to West Ham. There's going to be a loan to some other team.
I mean, the bottom below Arsenal is so bad just now. Scott McTominay could probably go in.
He could walk into the bottom 10.
He could do a job. He could do a job for, but like you're talking about Jose Mourinho. Like Jose Mourinho is like, no wonder him and Pep Guardiola don't get on. Pep Guardiola, I don't like the fact that he's just inherited really good teams. So he's not really been tested that well. But he brings in young players and makes them good.
Counter to that, I think one of my friends sent me a stat and it was like Man City's youth players only got a combined total of something like 18 minutes, like throughout the whole league campaign. It was, and I was like, oh, surely Phil Foden, surely that Zinchenko. Nope.
They get minutes.
Yeah.
And
minutes.
to add to that, today, Mahrez and Jorginho
Yeah,
to be
coming
signed
in, yeah, I
in
saw
positions
that,
they don't need.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for Phil
Yeah,
Foden?
no,
He's even further down the
That
pecking
boggled
list.
my mind.
Yeah.
That's just signing for the sake of signing.
Guardiola could be a myth.
Oh, but maybe he inherits teams that are a bit younger then.
Yeah, I mean,
And
like,
he brings through.
yeah.
Because Joshua Kimmich, he's like the main one I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
where like
yeah.
he wasn't going to get a game. And then Guardiola went, you know what, you're amazing.
And it's
Come
tough
in.
with City as well, right? Because I know we're saying bring Phil Foden through, but like, who realistically do you put Foden in front of?
Yeah.
Because they are that good. They just got 100 points in the Premier League.
Yeah. But they need to have somebody who's going to be like, I hate Man City because Man City are they just purchase players and they make them into a team. But he makes the team. Like
Agreed.
he makes whereas Jose Mourinho has a bunch of guys and he'll just use them in one way or the other. Like that's the only
I would agree.
problem.
They haven't frustrated me once this season, but the news today did.
Yeah.
Mahrez, that's just unnecessary.
Yeah, and I don't even know Jorginho. Is he the Monaco guy? Roma or
Napoli.
something? Or Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So between the
Oh,
two
he's the
of them-
Italian guy, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So you could potentially be looking, if they were to start the same lineup, you could potentially look at a bench with Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, and Jorginho.
Who all play in every.
That alone is
Okay.
a Champions League midfield.
Okay.
Anyone want another beer?
Oh yes, please.
I'm okay just now, thanks, mate. I was trying to keep the pod going, but
No,
all right.
just keep it going. I'm not gonna edit it out.
But I think that
We said cheers, mate.
Scott McTominay is not Darren Fletcher. And he
is
won't.
that a good or a bad thing?
No, he's not Darren Fletcher in respect that he doesn't have a manager who's going to do him right.
That's
Darren Fletcher was
really,
a mediocre
really
player
good point.
that got
Yeah.
brought up to being a better than mediocre player.
That is a very good point.
Because if he'd
Very
stayed
good
up
point.
in Scotland, he would never be where he is right now. And everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
boy, he's got like nearly 100
agree more
caps."
with
No,
that.
no, he's probably got like 60 caps or something for Scotland. Like, it's basically was the hero.
He
of
was
Scotland.
very well coached, and he was trusted by the manager, and in the same way that Park Ji-sung, like Darren Fletcher, that was the thing. All Scotsmen sort of like praised Sir Alex Ferguson for the fact that Darren Fletcher played every single big game, whether it was like man marking Pirlo or whatever. He played them all because the manager could trust him to do a defensive job where he couldn't trust others. Where someone like Paul Pogba would not have got in Sir Alex Ferguson's starting 11. He just wouldn't, like away from home at Juventus, somewhere difficult to go like that. There's no way Paul Pogba plays in a Sir Alex Ferguson team because he can't trust him to do the job.
No, agreed. The one thing I would say from Scott McTominay there is next season, the newest coach at Man United is Michael Carrick. That is the perfect coach for Scott
But
McTominay.
is Scott McTominay, like, I don't see him as a Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick's one of these guys that, there could be bombs going off around him and he'd still be able to like trap the ball, turn round and pass it to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, he's just cool.
But do you not think McTominay could be that?
I
We just talked, because we were talking about a 20-year-old that went to Seville in a Champions League quarter-final and was probably the best player on the pitch, so that clearly doesn't faze him.
you got a point. You got a point, yeah.
I don't know enough about the player yet to know if he's going to be attacking, defending, whatever.
You just want to see him given the chance, which I
agreed.
don't think he will under Jose Mourinho next season.
A
I
Premier
don't think
League
he does.
loan to a struggling Palace, Newcastle,
Yeah.
even one of the promoted teams
Yeah.
would do him the world.
I mean, you saw what it done to Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
yeah, look, and he's
He was close
he's
to making the
come on
England
so
squad.
much. And if he wasn't injured for 2 months, he probably would have.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So we keep him.
Oh yeah.
So we get to the four forwards. Start obvious to Alexis Sanchez.
Can we go back in time and not
Not
get him?
sign him.
Can we just score him out of history? What is that man's use?
Honestly, I think it was a power move. I think it was the fact Man City were going for him, and Man United were like, we can't let them strengthen even more, and so they just outbid them. I think that's the only reason he was bought.
I think he's probably one of the worst signings, just in the whole package of how much they have to pay him, how much they spent for him, and what he's done, he is probably one of the worst signings. He's up there with Eric Jemba. He really is, man. Like, he is just. I don't understand. Like, he is a one man team. Like, Arsenal, Arsenal did okay because he's a one man team. Like, at Barca, he wasn't a one man team and he didn't do nearly as well as he did at Udinese, where he was a one man team. Like, that's all he is. He's fast, he's rapid, he's able to turn, and he's able to shoot. What else does he do? He's not a creative guy. You never see him threading balls through. You never see him doing amazing crosses for people. Like, he just runs inside. He's Arjen Robben. Like, it's really all it is.
Some people would argue that's not the worst thing to be Arjen Robben.
Yeah, but Arjen Robben's. I would argue that Arjen Robben plays in a team where you have to be that. You've got one main striker and two, and everyone else just supports that striker. Whereas in this team, you've got a whole bunch of people.
To be honest, I think Arjen Robben's better than Alexis Sanchez.
Oh yeah, absolutely, any time of day. But they're the same kind of thing where it's like they're a one-trick pony.
I know what you're saying. Your hierarchy of Man United signings
Plays
is
the left,
Eric
right
Jemba,
all that.
Alexis Sanchez, Bebe.
He's on £350,000 a week. What does that man do for £350,000 a week?
So far, nothing.
Tries very hard.
About 3 goals. Isn't it?
He tries very hard.
It doesn't matter, man. Like,
how much did they actually?
Jemba
on top of the wages, what did they pay? Or did they actually get him on a free in the end?
No, they swapped him for Mkhitaryan.
No, I mean, it's a swap.
It was a full swap,
but a little bit inconclusive.
But remember, he was on. Was he not? Was his contract?
He was out of contract in the summer.
And Mkhitaryan had like 3 years left in his. Yeah,
I think he was out of contract in 6 months. I think was it not him, Ozil and Wilshere were all out of contract this
It was,
this
because
summer.
that's why City wouldn't go over the odds in the summer.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean,
they may have bought an asset in a really boring sense, that the fact that he is 29, and if they sell him in January next year, they'll probably still make a profit on him.
Who would take him now that
a ton of teams would take him.
So many teams would take him at the age of 30.
Well, for 300, who can pay him 350 grand a week?
Well, that's a good question, but he himself would probably know at that point.
This is the Gareth Bale conundrum, where it's like, who would take you?
Yeah, you can't. I can't
depends
see
how
anywhere
stubborn the
that
player
guy
is
would go.
himself.
I think he's going to sit there and milk them until his contract, and he's going to do a Tevez
Well, that's
and
the
disappear
thing.
back to South America.
That may well have been his plan,
Yeah.
right? He may have thought, this is my moment to get the biggest contract possible, whatever happens after.
Or
that
he
happens.
China or something.
Which is his
like
prerogative.
that.
Fair enough. Like, if you manage to get 350 grand out of Manchester United, then fair enough. But I mean, he's not like you can tell he is trying. Like, it's just not coming off for him. He could very well get a pre-season with Manchester United under his belt, and it could happen for him next season. It just seems to me, if you're an attacking player in a Jose Mourinho team, it's very hard to look good. It's very hard without being a typical Didier Drogba, like a power player. It's hard for flair players to look good in a Mourinho team.
Yeah.
Like, he could do it next season. I know he gets a lot of stick, but he could.
I'd get rid of him, but I doubt he'd go.
Right, you can't get rid of it, right? You can't.
I wouldn't get rid of him. I think he's been really disappointing, but I still think he could turn it on.
If this was
we know how good he is.
If this was Football Manager, I'd get rid of him for like 80 million and spend my money on Griezmann or something. He's like I said, he's a one-trick pony, and that trick that he has is not good enough for Man United. It's not the way that they play.
Right. Okay, so we keep him. Lukaku, obviously keep him.
Oh, keep him.
Yeah, keep him. He is.
He's one of the best strikers in the world on his day.
Yeah, he's good. He can be unplayable.
He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, like a Drogba.
Yeah, he's just very different to any other striker in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah.
You can't compare him to Kane. You can't compare him to Aguero.
Right. Last two are semi-controversial. Just a quick anecdote, right? So we'll go Marcus Rashford before we go Anthony Martial. I joined Reddit just to, I don't know, to see what it was. And just to see what it was. I'd never really used it before, and I joined a bunch of like football forums and stuff. And on the one that's called Soccer, I said, like, I think it was a Manchester United thread, and I said, Marcus Rashford, he played a really good game, and I acknowledged that. I went, he's played really well. I just wish he get more game time up front. I have never had that amount of abuse in my life. I was getting absolutely pelters, And that was my exact statement. Marcus Rashford had a really good game today. I just wish he would get more game time up front.
What was the point?
Yeah,
so?
what was the response to that?
Honestly, it wasn't even, none of it was fucking rational. So like with Reddit, you either get upvoted or downvoted.
So you were downvoted like
my
hell.
karma was like minus 2,000, and I could not post on any other threads at all because my karma was so bad. So like they were like, "You're clearly an asshole," and I was like, "No, I made a reasonable point. I was trying to evoke discussion." And no, I just got a bunch of abuse off of Man United fans.
So theory number 2 for the evening. You can't criticise English players if they are in the England team or seen as being youngsters that will get into the England
Well,
team.
they certainly get a hell of a lot more time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like Marcus Rashford, like I don't know what he does. He's fast. He can hit a free kick, and he's pretty decent. Like
So
Jesse Lingard, I would say is better than him, but
he is, but Jesse Lingard's
Does
25.
more.
He's way more mature. Jesse Lingard, when he was 20, was not better than Marcus Rashford. But Marcus Rashford has been played as a winger when he's not. He doesn't want to be
but
there.
what is he though? Like he's not.
Rashford's a striker.
He's a striker, but
what, is he
Mourinho
really
plays
a
him there
striker,
3
though?
games a season. How are you going to improve at a position when you get played there 3 games a season, and then your manager publicly criticises
So
you?
he's Theo
aka
Walcott
against Brighton.
10 years later.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
he's so much better than Theo Walcott.
So learn. I mean, he is better than Theo Walcott, but learn from Theo Walcott. Don't stay at a club that are going to consistently play you in the wrong position and never learn the position you want to play in. If I'm Marcus Rashford, he's definitely going to stay, and he's definitely going to want to stay. But he could go to someone and play up front and be the next Harry Kane.
Yeah,
Harry Kane never emerged until he was 21, 22.
And that was following 4 loan spells where he was bang average.
Yep.
He's not. There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm now passionate about this. There's no way that he is anywhere Harry Kane. Physically,
He's a different
like
player.
he is not. Harry Kane is. I really admire Harry Kane. I still maintain he's not right at world class yet, but he's right near.
Best striker in the world.
No, he's not.
Best striker in the
No,
world.
but he literally he is like Alan Shearer. It's like give him the ball anywhere near, and he's gonna make 2 yards for himself and shoot and score. Marcus Rashford is not that guy. He is not. If like you watch him losing the ball a lot of the time in games. He's rapid as hell. That's the main thing I can see about him.
Yeah.
He's a different kind of
He's
player
different.
completely, but there's no reason he can't go to West Ham and score 20 goals. Like, and score 20 league goals a season. If he plays up front consistently 38 games a season, he will score you goals. You can tell his confidence is low. You can tell that he's not played up front enough. He needs to develop in the position, and he's not going to do that playing fucking right wing.
Yeah. I can
left
agree.
wing,
I think
that's his
Rashford's
main one,
class.
Fucking any wing.
Yeah. He's 20 and he came on the scene 3 seasons ago. He scores goals. If he's given the chance, he scores goals. I'd have him. I think if he was put on the market, he'd be snapped up by any team.
I don't think he'd ever be put. I think he'll be
I don't
at
think he
Man
would
United
be.
for a long time.
I think that's his issue though. I think
I think that's a
Mourinho
shame
stays.
because Lukaku is 25.
Yeah.
Lukaku is going to be there for as long as he wants to be
And
there.
Lukaku and Rashford never works together. That's not a strike partnership.
But you would think they would be, because think about it, Lukaku, big,
But he's
target
not like-
striker, but he's not.
You're
But he's
going
not.
Mike
Is
Bassett,
he's not
4-4-2.
Niall Quinn, is he? He's not like.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
going to nod it on for
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah,
No,
he's not a Tor Andre Flo. Like,
Yeah.
he's not like a big guy. But
Rashford you keep, but you play him the right way. He could be so good.
He could be.
so good. Like at the World Cup, I would love him on the pitch.
So I'll put it out there, right? So in the next 2 seasons, I think he'll probably get a run as the striker, and I don't think he's going to do what everyone thinks he's going to do.
He's never going to get the run unless Lukaku gets injured.
Even Theo
He's
Walcott got a
never
run at
getting a run.
striker, and everyone realised he was fucking terrible, like as being a striker.
I don't think you can compare him to Walcott. That's it.
I see your
Yeah.
point. I just feel like he's going that way, unfortunately.
Well, if it carries on, he will eventually.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like
Yeah,
we need to
it's
see.
just
We need
what
to see.
happens,
Like
right?
you know, he'll be 21 next year, so we need to see
Look,
him
but
in that role.
It's a completely different type of player, but look at the Ox. He was going the way Walcott was, being used in different positions on the pitch and just petering out into nothing. Went to Liverpool, this is your position, didn't play for, 6-7 weeks, while he was clearly learning it on the training ground.
And now he has one good game every 10,
Now he's about 10% better.
It's a fair point. It's exactly the same thing. If you get a coach that actually wants to coach you and it's actually going to make you better, like a Jurgen Klopp. Like, imagine Marcus Rashford in a Jurgen Klopp team. Say Firmino's fucked off somewhere, back to Brazil. Marcus Rashford at the head of that three, and Jurgen Klopp's installed the work ethic into him. He's told him tactically when to press, when not to press. Rashford could be phenomenal.
But is he good enough on the ball for that? Those three, if you watch those three, all three of them are like ooze confidence when that ball comes to their feet. Rashford Rashford and Martial are very similar.
Yeah. That is each other's big issue.
Yeah.
At the moment, I think one of them stays.
Yeah.
The thing with I think Rashford's awesome. The one thing that Rashford always reminds me of is when he came on as an 18-year-old in the Euros against Wales, and we were 1-0 down, and picked the ball up straight away, took on 4 players, and in that single moment took on more players than any of our players had in the whole tournament. That's ridiculous.
Fearlessness.
Yeah, he got the ball, he ran. If he loses it sometimes, I don't really mind. But in that one moment, he did more than anyone else had done in the previous 3 games. Or
and
whatever
it's just under Mourinho, that's going to get coached out of him. 100%.
Yeah,
he's going to be scared to make mistakes. Like, I mean, the public berating that they got against Brighton when he played up front and he was like, that's why I play Lukaku. I mean, fuck it, it's the exact same with Luke Shaw. Like, you can't just take the same approach for every single player. You can't if you want to be a good manager. Mm-hmm. Some players need different things. And Rashford, I think people forget that he is only 20.
Yeah.
And that he's
you
still,
do.
He's still a very young boy.
Because you think of Kane as young, but he's still 4 years older than Rashford. Yeah. And 4 years ago, Kane wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, he was playing
like he was on loan at Norwich.
Exactly. If you want to compare their careers side by side, Rashford's a far better career so far than Kane has. Yeah.
He's got the potential.
At
just
20.
I was going to say
asterisks at 20.
Yeah. But, yeah, well, it will be interesting. Let's come back in 4 years to the same table and we'll have the same discussion. And I'll
because here you go one of 2 ways.
I'll eat my hat if he's become what you think he's going to become.
Yeah. West Ham's top goal scorer.
11 goals, beating one man.
Second string to Andy Carroll. Yeah. But I just don't. I fear he's not going to be as bad as Theo Walcott is, but I just fear he's going that direction.
Yeah, so I don't think he will go as well because he's a United kid.
No, he won't.
Born and raised near the stadium, loves the club. He ain't going.
He's no Wayne Rooney. Like, he's not going to be the guy that is like a talisman for this club and become. He's not going to be Harry Kane. He's not going to be Alan Shearer. He's not going to be that kind of guy. But it'll be interesting to see what he's like.
Okay, so someone that will go, I think, is Anthony Martial. I think everything we've just said about Rashford, you can apply to Martial. Pretty much everything he could. Again, he's a striker being played on the wing. He started playing. He was a regular at Monaco at 18 years old. He's now 22, and he's probably not a whole lot better than he was when he left Monaco.
He's just the same. He's not really done much.
He's stagnated at best, if not regressed. And again, I think it's under Mourinho.
He's a flair. He's a weird flair player. Like, he does a lot of things that you just wish, like, every time he comes on the pitch, I'm just waiting for him to have that spark.
Yeah, I love watching him.
You love watching the crazy, some of this dribbling style is something that very few people have.
I mean, like the debut goal he got against Liverpool. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, it's like he's dancing, but then he dances about, and then the ball gets taken off him because he tries to take it around the third guy instead of after taking it round two, knocking it with his left foot, which he doesn't really have, through to somebody to score. He's frustrating. He's really frustrating. 9
goals and 18 starts in the Premier League. It's not too bad.
I like him. I mean, I actually think he's brilliant. I don't see any world in which Martial and Rashford both stay and both do well.
Nah.
because they're both being used for
who
the
would you
same
rather
purpose.
have? Who would you rather?
From a selfish
Yeah,
perspective,
yeah.
I'd say
Yeah,
Rashford.
Yeah, they're going to
Because
stick
I
with
want
Rashford.
Rashford to be the main man. But
Yeah.
I think if Martial goes, say he goes to, I don't know, Juventus or somewhere like that, Milan, I think he'll do really, really well.
Yeah, he's kind of he has a feeling about a Milan
Yeah.
player, doesn't he? Like you know that way, like with Milan, like they have this like every now and then they'll come up with like a kind of good like purchase for cheap, and you just think they're going to be a bit better. I know they've got no money, but still,
Yeah, and
he's got the feeling of that, or like a Juve player or somebody like that, like
Yeah,
a
you
Dortmund
can-
player.
He can
Yeah,
suit him.
yeah.
He can waltz around a little bit. Turn it on when he wants.
yeah, you can see him in the Italian league. But so, how much do you think you get for Martial?
You
Is it-
should
'cause
be
he
able
is
to get
gone.
along.
He is gone.
We're talking about a
Would-
golden ball.
50, 60, yeah.
Would they
They
sign
paid
for
40 for. Was it? I can't remember.
Is it 50?
Again,
60?
it was right on the deadline. I thought it was 39, but that might be completely
I
wrong.
thought it was 50. Right. 2015 Golden Boy.
It was
60 million.
36.
Oh, sorry, 36, which could eventually rise to 58.
And you would
That's
assume it
fucking
hasn't
vague.
risen.
Maybe that's why he's been doing so bad. Yeah.
So
If
next
you
year
score
he's
10
away.
goals in a season, we pay you 20 million.
The first 4 years.
Right, so we'll call it 36. Right.
You get a lot of money for him. You like.
Yeah, you get 50.
I get 50 easily.
I mean, Fabinho, I'll just bring it back to him. He's just went for 44.
You'd easily get 50, 60 for him.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
And actually, I think if someone signed him for £50 million, that could prove to be a bargain in 5 years' time. It could be a mistake, but it could be a bargain.
Yeah, I think you'd be a bargain. I just don't with regular football. Again, it's hard when you just keep coming off the bench. When you know you're starting in a team, you go into a game with a totally different mentality than am I starting, am I not starting, am I going to come off the bench? I've only got 5 minutes to do something, which is why you end up trying to beat 3-4 players and you end up getting the ball gets taken off you in the third player because you're trying to do something special in 5-10 minutes that you don't always have the time to.
I'm not saying they're at the same level as well, but interesting how so on there it says Monaco. He left Monaco at the age of 18. Mbappe left Monaco at the age of 18, both after one successful years.
Yep.
Mbappe has gone and played every game at PSG this year, and does look like he is going to be world class.
Oh, he is world class already.
And if he stays at PSG until he is 22, Martial's age, and keeps playing every single week, at the age of 22, he is going to be unbelievable. And that's what could have happened to Martial if he had been given that position and played every single week for the last 3 years, 4 years.
100%. Yeah, just bad. I don't know if it's bad timing that he got Jose Mourinho as a coach.
It might be bad timing in the fact that United are in transition and they need to reach the top 4 at whatever cost. So if they're a team that are he can be that luxury, right? If they say like Nani or Ronaldo in his first year at United wasn't unbelievable, they were winning the league. They were going to win the league.
Yeah.
They could afford to put him at left wing and know that he was going to be class. But when you're desperately chasing the top 4, you put out a team that is going to win each game every single week.
Yeah, it's true. You don't take any chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Right, so to summarise, we started with 130 million. We've sold Martial, Juan Mata, Darmian, Luke Shaw, Daley Blind, Chris Smalling, Rojo, and Sergio Romero. And we've now got 286 million to play with.
So realistically, what do we have to sign?
We just buy Neymar. just buy Neymar and have a 16-man squad.
Nah, they'll do. I think they'll do some pretty decent business. I can see them doing better next year, just because I think Mourinho will sign players that are more. He seems to like players that are good at taking instruction on, and there's quite a few of them. Like Raja Nangolan, somebody like that. Like someone who's got a bit of combat. Even like there's talk of Bayern Munich of what's his face leaving the. Midfielder. No, the midfielder.
Thiago?
What, Müller? The one that's...
No. The Peruvian guy. Not Peruvian. Oh, what's his name? Arturo Vidal.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
I actually pictured it in my head. I know it. The one with the moment.
Like somebody like one of like those.
He's a Mourinho player.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're like imagine
Imagine
him, Matic, and then Pogba sitting in front of them. Like that's some. And because there's talk of Vidal leaving, so I wouldn't be surprised if Vidal comes in for say like 40-50 million.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Griezmann went, but you know. I still don't rate the guy as highly as everyone else does.
It's a massive transfer, Kitty. If you can, if they can sell a few of them, and you think like
if you spend £200 million and you
Griezmann,
haven't improved,
Griezmann's going to cost you 100 mil straight away.
The thing with Griezmann though, it looks like Barca's done deal, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's what you're hearing.
Yeah, they don't add.
Is it Barcelona or another one?
They don't
have money.
I don't know how they're getting away with it. I don't understand.
They're in just as much debt as Madrid.
Well, that I read something today that's why they think that Zidane's gone, right, see, without you giving me a whole bunch of money, I can't do any more with this. Yeah. Like, we have players that want to leave, we have players that are pissed off, we have players that are not going to be motivated for the next season because they've just won 3 in a row. So why should I stay here? Especially when PSG would probably just throw all the money in the world at him. Like,
it's that, or he knows because they've got a balanced books. Ronaldo's off, Bale's off.
Yeah, it's to say, like, Man United, you could argue that, you know, commercially, I mean, they will have, like you said, 130, 150 mil straight off the bat to play with. Like that's just money they make from, you know, the 2 million people that buy a
China.
Marcus Rojo top in China. You know what I mean?
All these Chinese
West Ham
Rojo
fans. West Ham's is going to pay him so much money. But yeah, like it's I can see. I think Griezmann will go, and I would be surprised if somebody like Vidal or somebody like that doesn't go to Man United because he's the kind of guy that Mourinho would love.
It's a solid sign. I don't know if it works with Mourinho, but I think United's number one target should be Gareth Bale, simply because I think anyone that can afford him, with a man like him on the market, should be going for him. I just think Bale is.
If they didn't have Alexis Sanchez, yes, see, because they've got him and they're tied up for 350. Like that's what Bale gets paid.
There's only so many luxury players you can have in a team, and that you can't have Sanchez and Bale.
The Sanchez move was a mistake. Full stop. I think.
Oh yeah.
That's the bigger issue.
It's almost like they've committed to that now, and they need to see it out. They need to give it to. I can't see them signing Bale. Okay, and that is the abrupt end of the very first Ginger Sports podcast. Thank you very much if you made it this far. Please like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, even if you don't think it's a 5 stars. If you do like it, share with your pals. We have about 4 listeners just now. I'd very much like that to go up to 8, 10 if we're being ambitious. Thanks very much. Hopefully